Hello viewers, this is HereticPlus and welcome to episode 12 of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We are back here in Zora's domain after setting ourselves up for the next dungeon, more or less. Before we go through this area though, we want to go all the way back down to the central pool in this room. We have to go catch a certain something, which will enable us to actually enter the dungeon. If we do not have it, we cannot enter. I will show you how to do it. You can't catch one quite in here, but we want to go down here to warp into Lake Hylia. There we go. And you want to kind of go over, I believe, to the more shallow water. What we need to do is we need to catch a fish. And there should be fish out here somewhere. If there's not fish, I'll be very upset. Do not see any fish. Let me think. Can we catch one inside of here, actually? Or will that be illegal? I think if we go inside here, we have to catch it with a rod, and then we can't even leave without it, really. But yeah, I cannot use my items. Okay, so I'm kind of lost. I will return when I have a fish, viewers. Okay, viewers, I am back. I was kind of confused. Actually, there are fish here in Zora's domain. It's been a while since I played, and I thought there weren't. But basically, you just run up to where they're swimming, and you swing a bottle at them, and that's how you catch a fish. We need to get this fish to enter the dungeon. If we don't have it, we can't enter it. That's basically how that works. There may or may not be ones actually by the dungeon, because I was wrong about this part, so I could be wrong about that too. But I don't think there are, but I don't know. So here we go. Basically, I've decided that we really could grab enough Skulltulas to grab the third item, and we really could get another heart piece. But really, we're going to set ourselves up to have that right after the dungeon anyway, and it'd just be unnecessary work right now. There's really no rush to get those at the moment. We'll get them afterwards. And get so many more afterwards, because we'll have a new item that almost makes it dumb to do all the time to get them now. So here we are. This is the Zora's Fountain, and that is a giant fish. Holy crap, is that thing huge. Like I said, I don't think there are any fish out here. But, you know what? Let's make it day, so we can get the full effect of Zora's Fountain. Alright, this place is pretty cool, actually. This is Lord Jabu Jabu. He is a giant godfish. Pretty amazing. But actually, our next dungeon, you know, as the note said, Princess Ruto is inside of Jabu Jabu. He swallowed her. We have to go into the belly of a whale to get him back. Before we enter, I believe one of these pots has a fairy in it. So, I'm going to get rid of a bug. We're not going to need it anytime soon. This area, there's no bugs inside or even around it. So, no rush there. And just, you know, come on. Okay. I was wrong again. This is kind of embarrassing, guys. My guide has been spot on so far, then twice in the same episode I've made a stupid mistake. This area, though, I'm not mistaken about. You want to swim all the way around Lord Jabu Jabu. Hello, buddy, waving to us with your fins. Because there is a little island, if you can see in the bottom right of the map, down there in the corner. There's an island down here. By the way, on the map, this thing in the middle, that... Oh, no, I guess it's not him. I thought that strand of land on the map was actually Lord Jabu Jabu, and I was like, that is not shaped correctly. But, whatever the case. Here we go. There's a few things we can get over here, and one magical spell that will make this dungeon a little bit less of a pain, especially if you don't know... If you haven't done this dungeon before, this will save your life, really, but... Walk into this tree, and a Skulltula pops out. That's prize number 1. Kill that mofo. That's Skulltula number 29, and then you want to throw a rock over here by this wall. Because we don't just blow up that rock. We blow up the entire frickin' wall. And of course inside we find a great fairy fountain. So we're going to go over here and play Zelda's Lullaby. These guys are just all over the place, man. Link is getting so much action, it's ridiculous. Hello! How's it going? Not attractive, not at all. What's up, lady? Welcome, Link. I'm the Great Fairy of Magic. So there's two fairies who are Great Fairies of Magic. So they're not they're a Great Fairy of Magic, unless it's the same fairy with access to different fountains. I guess that would make sense, right? That's probably what it is. I've never thought of it that way. But maybe like the fountains are like portals to where the Great Fairies live, and like different ones are run by different fairies. I don't know. So here we go. This new power is Feyor's Wind. This is a warp magic you can use with C. Basically, it only works in dungeons, but we plant it down, and then once we've cast it, it leaves like a shining green ball of energy. And if we use the power again, we can warp back to that spot. Wherever in the dungeon we are, it warps us back to that spot. This is great if we know that we're going to have to do backtracking. I pretty much know whenever that's going to be. And there's one area in here that if you don't know what you're doing, it can get kind of annoying. I don't believe this power is really intensive on our magic, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. We don't have very many uses for magic at this point in the game, because you're really not going to use the spin attack to use magic, like, at all. Swim back around. I think you can actually stand on the fish if you get it close, but... So this dungeon forms one of the biggest cliches in adventure games, and that is that the inside of the dungeon is way bigger than the outside. This is also the case with houses, stuff like that. In adventure games, it always seems like the inside is way bigger than the outside. I will show you this right here. Watch this. So we got the fish. Drop the fish out right in front of Lord Jabu Jabu. Hello, man, it's time to eat. What? What's going on? Oh no, I've dropped my fish! What? Wait! What are you doing? And then he literally sucks us inside. Ah! And like Jonah and the whale, we are in the belly of a fish. So here we are, inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. I'm sorry, just this first room is as big as the fish is, and this is not even the start of the dungeon, hardly. You know, like, the dungeon's gigantic. This is probably the biggest dungeon we've done so far. I mean, you could argue that Dodongo's Cavern is the biggest one, but most of those rooms are just empty, you know what I mean? So, basically, in this dungeon, there's no reason to have the Hylian shield equipped, so just use the Deku shield, especially for these guys, so you can deflect stuff back at them. They're killed the same way as, like, Deku scrubs. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to kill, though. Come on, stop, stupid bubbles. Ah! You know what? Goodbye. Hard to imagine that a seed flung by a slingshot could actually kill anything, but you know, I guess they're right. You know, when they say in a Christmas story that, you know, you'll shoot your eye out, because it's true. You will. Watch out for these floating jellyfish. We cannot kill them yet. You can't kill them. Don't bother with that yet either. Until we get a certain item, we can't hurt them, and if they get too close to us, they will electrocute the crap out of us. Interesting. What? What is that? What's wrong with your head, lady? You! Who are you? I am Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. What? Are you saying my father asked you to come here to save me? I'd never ask anyone to do such a thing. Letter in a bottle? I have no idea what you're talking about. My father is worried about me. I don't care. Anyway, I can't go home right now, and you, get out of here, understand? So she is uncooperative, but... Ah! She falls down a hole. So this is the point where I would pull out our new power, Feyor's Wind, and use it right here. Because we will be returning to this room. It's kind of like a central hub for the dungeon. We'll be returning here quite a bit. It can save some time, especially if we ever lose the princess. Shoot, where'd it go? Doesn't it just stay right? There it is, right at the front. Because if we ever lose the princess, she'll return to that spot, I believe. I'm pretty certain, or else she'll return here. Whatever the case, that room's very important. Leave me alone, jellyfish! Haha, you're frozen in space because I'm talking to somebody. Are you still hanging around here? I told you to go away. I'm okay. I've been going inside little Jabba Jabba's belly since I was little. Whoa. That sounds very inappropriate, lady. By the way, are you wearing shoes? They're like little blue... They're like flip-flops with blue socks. I don't know what they are. Little Jabba Jabba is very strange today. There are electrified jellyfish and strange holes around. On top of that, he has heartworm, buddy. On top of that, my precious stone was... But that's none of your business anyway. You, go home now. Ah! Ow. They do a whole heart of damage, I believe. You're that worried about me? I'm talking to the jellyfish now, guys. Then I will give you the honor of carrying me. However, I won't leave until I find the thing I'm looking for. You better believe me. So basically, we can pick her up and carry her on our heads. Like, we're pretty dang strong. We can kill bubbles with her. That's kind of cool. She's kind of a weapon. I think she'd get kind of upset that we're throwing her at stuff. Don't walk into the bubbles, because that will actually hurt you. See? They don't do a lot of damage. I don't think slingshot bullets will do anything. Yeah, they won't. But this part of the dungeon, we're going to need us a princess. Huh, I almost hit that, well, you know. Before we go down, go ahead and take out this guy here. Okay, now before you do anything, I would kill these guys. If you get up close to them, like, they look like sharks, but actually, they are, they're actually like flying stingray. I believe Navi, what does Navi call them? Navi calls them stingers, right before it flies into you. They're not deadly at all. They're really not. I don't think I've been hurt by them in my entire life, to be honest. They're just not threatening. But get them out of the way first. Do not hit the switch yet. That will give you a huge pain in the butt later on in the game. But just walk up to them, they'll pop out of the water, and then you just shoot them. You know, I guess it's funny because we're pretty much stepping on them. But what are you going to do? So that, I believe, is all of them. Oh, money. At that point, grab the princess. Come on, princess. 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 Shit. If the princess gets submerged, she disappears. Unfortunately, I put her on a switch, so I lost the princess. But this is a perfect point, a perfect opportunity. Oh, here I believe you're going to want a bottle because there's a fairy here. If I believe correctly, hopefully this time I'm right. Yes, I'm right. There we go. This is the only dungeon in the game where you might have some difficulty with keeping all of your life. There's a couple of bosses, really only one boss, but you could argue a couple of points in the game that can really hurt you quite a bit. So, go ahead and use Feyor's Wind. You can cast it to either return to the warp point or dispel it. Return to the warp point. And we go all the way back here, and it has like it doesn't really use our mana at all to cast it, or else it does to put it down, but not to warp back to it, I guess. I'll check this in a second. Okay, so it takes about a third of our heart or magic, but fall back down where she fell before, and here she is. Okay, so back we go. This time we will do this correctly. Watch out for the bubbles. Ah! So annoying. And toss her back in the water. This time, stay clear of the switch. Man, that sucked. Let's go, buddy. Got a slingshot for you. By the way, so I'm thinking that after I finish up Amnesia, and probably Amnesia and XCOM, I do plan on getting back to XCOM. Time's just been hectic, and that's not exactly the game that I really wanted to get to play. I mean, it's a great game, but I don't think it's a great Let's Playing game. It's a little bit too repetitive. It's a lot of fun if you're playing by yourself, but I don't know. I don't think it's great for Let's Playing. I've been thinking that after I finish Amnesia and maybe this, that I will be doing an LP of Grand Theft Auto 4, especially because Grand Theft Auto 5 will be coming out in short order, and I plan on playing that game, if at all possible. Come on. Come on, lady. Up on top. Let's go. There we go. So this time you can hit the water and rise up, and she's already where you need to go. You can just jump up. That's just a taste of the kind of puzzles that you'll need her to do. There's a couple of things kind of like that. Not really. We don't get her for the entire dungeon, though. Because, of course, she's a damsel in distress twice. Not to give a spoiler, but we all saw it coming. Oh! I didn't know we could do that. We can actually hit the switches by throwing her. That's kind of interesting. No, 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 no. Ow! Wasting my time? This frickin' dungeon. Alright, so on we go. Woo! What's up? What's up? You don't really have to kill it. Don't throw her by accident. You will regret it for the rest of your life. But basically wait. This thing will come down. You can jump onto it. And it's the elevator back to the first room. Alright, so back to the dungeon. Go through to the central room again, where we of course dropped Feyor's Wind. Into here. It's kind of cool how all the walls move and stuff like that. And actually, I'll show you in a second, not now. Okay, watch out here, because if you run through here, a jellyfish falls down. If you shoot the walls with like a slingshot, they actually like move like they're being hurt. That's kind of cool. But there's all... Ah! I think these things are called... I don't think they're called heartworms, but something like that. In this room, there are many pathways we can take, most of which are blocked by worms like that. We cannot get through there yet. Their floors will actually make us move. So we're kind of like in its blood veins or something. But if you leave her on those switches, she will not vanish, so don't worry about that. Couldn't even do this yet? Okay, you can't do this room yet. Never mind. Basically, when you come back to her, she'll be upset, like we left her, how inconsiderate, blah, blah, blah. Just pick her up again. We're Link. I mean, we're awesome at picking up chicks. Picking them up all over the place, man. So, to the right is where you want... Ah, frick. They're pretty slow, but if you pause to talk, then they're a lot faster, it seems. This is it. We're about to get... I would call what we're about to get the most useful... the most useful equipment for the first part of this game. By the way, the blue switches, we have to leave her on to stay on, and the yellow ones, you can just hit once and they stay like that. The same way with, like, the blue stone switches. Shoot, where are you? The blue stone switches, you've got to place something on or stay on, and the, other kinds you don't. It's the same idea. Yeah, if you miss, it kind of makes it Jabu shake in the background. Kind of interesting that they did that, you know. He's having terrible heartburn, I'm sure. Once you kill everything in here, it drops a chest. And this chest, like I said, is the most freaking awesome thing in this entire game. Okay, not in the entire game, but in the first part of the game, it's the most awesome thing you can get. This will free up so many Skulltulas in the game. And quite a few heart pieces too, I think. Not for us very many, because I've got them other ways. But this is the boomerang! Then you can attack distant enemies. But basically, you throw it, and when it hits something, it brings it back to you. So like you can hit Skulltula tokens, etc. There's tons of those in the game that we could not reach yet, but now that we have the boomerang, we can get them. This item is so useful. Taking that for sure. And this can kill the jellyfish. Good to note. As well as other things that are kind of dangerous up close, but you can kill them at range, and the slingshot can't do it. This will be able to kill them. Shoot! Okay, so back over to where we were. And plant her down on top of the blue switch. Okay, like I said, you gotta lay her down on top of it. And this is the first of several things we'll have to fight like this. It's called a parasitic tentacle. Got no idea what it is. Basically, the boomerang is what we need to kill it. You get up close, and it'll rear up to smack you. You gotta throw the boomerang at the right moment. You can backflip if you want. Yeah, if you get too close, it'll fling you backwards. It's not really difficult, but you can do it 2 or 3 times, and eventually it'll die. Every time you kill one of these, one of the wormy tentacle things that blocked a door, it will disappear, basically. The one that was the same color as the tentacle will go away. So as you kill more, you gain access to more parts of the dungeon. And this time, we get the dungeon map, and now we can see exactly how big this dungeon is. It's not gigantic, but it's a decent size. I guess it's not as big as I said it was, but a lot of the rooms, though, we're going to go to more than once. It's really the first dungeon that backtracks that much is this one. You know, actually, viewers, that's all the time I'm going to have for this episode. I've got to go to work, guys. This episode was really short. I apologize. I really did not want to go without uploading one, but I kind of procrastinated, so I could not upload a long enough one for today. In the future, I will get this back on track. Every day will be a new episode, half an hour long, almost every single one. As well as XCOM, Amnesia is probably doing the best by getting an episode every single day. So yeah, tune in for those. My series just keeps on going, man. More Let's Plays, more fun, more collectibles, more Zelda, more scares, everything. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is HereticPlus, signing out. Goodbye!